So, to explain this, first I should explain how an OR gate works. We really need a chip because this is getting a bit hairy. Right. Put that there. That there. So most of the time, the way an OR gate is used is if you have at least one on input, then it sends an on output. But what's actually going on? What's actually going on isn't as simple as that. It is finding the lowest value, no, the highest value with an OR gate and sending that. So now this is lower, so it's not sending 02 if we send them both to 0. So that's the highest number, so it's sending 0.4. Now that's the highest number, so it's sending 0.8. While I'm here, an AND gate works the other way around. It sends the lowest number. So now it's sending 0.4. Now it's sending this one because it's lower, so it's sending 0. So yeah, nothing in Dreams is a 1. It's just on and off. Everything is numbers. So when it's sending an on, it's sending a 1. When it's sending off, it's sending a 0. So they're not both 1s, so then it's sending a 0. Now they are both 1s, so it's sending a 1. But anything in between, and you can get these other effects. So it's effectively just finding the lowest number for an and finding the largest number for a OR. Let's put all this stuff on a chip as well. Cool, so what's going on in here? It's using that principle. Yeah, I think all of them have their own like funny effects that are numbers. Let's try that out, see what that does. I've described all of these in terms of how the numbers work in my Dreams documentation, which I'm still working on. It has like video link references and whatnot to help people kind of learn. So XOR is, what's the XOR meant to do? It's meant to when there's only one that's on, right? Yeah, do this thing if only one of these things are true. So that makes sense for on and off, but nothing is on and off. So what happens for other values? It sends we need a couple more for XOR gate. It sends when there is only one non-zero value. Let's make it so we can make negatives as well. When there's only one non-zero value, it sends that. So let's see what it does there. So it's when there's only one positive value, then it sends that value. So I'm sure there's some clever ways of using that to your advantage as well. The only thing is, input tabs and stuff don't have that as one of the options. So the reason this stuff works is because you can change these. So this looks uncannily like an OR gate. That's because it is an OR gate. Override is taking the OR of the input values, which means it's taking the highest value and setting the value of whatever input it's sending to. So I use that principle down here. So it's overriding, which means it is ORing all these values, and that means it is finding the highest of all those values. This one is find the one value that is more than the other values. This is slightly more complicated, but actually not that much. I think I might recolor these and save it out because they are just too hard to look at. It's probably useful for like the wires to be different colors, but I mean this is purely to find the principle to use and then use that in your own actual logic. So yeah, so here we're using the blend. So it's these, again, it doesn't send an on or off, it sends a 1 if they're equal, it sends a 0 if they're not equal. So there are, I think there are 10. There are 10. 10 of these, so that will add them all up, then divide it by 10. If there are more than one that are equal to the max, then we don't want anything to send any signals. Yeah, so we want to know if there's 0 that are equal to the maximum, then it would send 0. It would average out to a 0. If there was 1, it would be 1 divided by 10, which is 0.1. If it's more than 0.1, then it means more than one of these are the maximum value, at which point we don't want to send any values out, because we want that to be, because there's a draw, it just cancels out. So then we so this checks if there are more than one that are maximum. If there are not more than one that is maximum, then turn all these on. So they're very simple principles, but it's just having that tiny bit of knowledge of what that does, and it really helps you do things a lot more efficiently and quickly. That's the most important thing.